Lightness versus heaviness, created by me. This is my presentation. Lightness, heaviness. Lightness, heaviness. Mila Kundera posted this quote to us. I'm not going to read the entire thing. It's going to be too long, and I don't think any of you are actually going to listen to all of it. But it's basically asking, but is heaviness truly deplorable and lightness splendid? And it also says, what then shall we choose, weight or lightness? I would like to begin my discussion of whether or not I will live my life by choosing weight or lightness by letting you know what I define lightness and heaviness as. I define lightness as something that makes us feel as if we are living in the present moment, something that gives life life. Heaviness is something that causes us to feel anxious or sad, something that makes us worry about the future or something that makes us long for the past. And at the end of this presentation, I will talk to you about whether or not I choose lightness or whether or not I choose heaviness. And I would like to begin my presentation by talking about things I consider light. One example of lightness is Minecraft. When I have the time to play Minecraft, and I do play, I temporarily set aside my worries and enjoy the present moment, whether it be a game of micro battles where I try to slay Jeffrey, aka Dajingo, who is a terrible archer with absolutely zero skills. Other people may have different mediums for feeling lightness, like meditation, hanging out with friends, or playing an instrument. The third of which I actually do with the Novation Launchpad. When you play an instrument and you get to the point where you don't have to think about much about what you're playing, but you're just feeling the notes, that's when you can feel lightness. Or if you're playing Clair de Lune on the piano, which is a beautiful piece by Claude Debussy. I also do pen tapping. It's a kind of a helps me release it, like deal with anxiety. It's kind of like a bad habit, but yeah. So pen tapping. Another thing I do that I usually associate with lightness is basically going to sleep late. And you can see the window, moonlight, and when I go to sleep late, I have this feeling like I don't have a care for anything in the world and I can do what I want. Obviously, there are negative side effects and symptoms to that and complications to that during the morning when you wake up and you realize you done goofed. Another thing I also associate with lightness is basically browsing through YouTube. A lot of people have talked about this, and I feel that YouTube is definitely a major part of a lot of our lives. And I watch Come In the Morning, Person Plays on TV on Frax, Vsauce, which is like a science channel, Rocket Jump, which is like an animation channel. And YouTube just gives me this feeling like, lightness, enjoying the present moment. Not much to think about there. Okay, so this is me searching up how to draw the Burj Al Arab. Burj Al Arab is located in Dubai, in the United Arab Emirates. It's in the Middle East. It's basically, this is traveling. I really love traveling. I really like going on vacation. I remember Tiffany mentioning this yesterday, how traveling, lets us set aside our worries, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't come without its, downsides, like, going to the right terminal, make sure you book the right airplane tickets, make sure you don't lose your luggage, etc. So that's me in the middle. Mountains, trees, rocks, bushes, everything, the sun. This is basically nature in general, but it can also include hiking, mountain climbing. So don't judge me for what's about to come next. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of in a way childish, but I wouldn't say that. So this is me drawing tanks and stuff, because since I was small, I really liked drawing like cartoon versions of like tanks and missiles and whatever. Like, I don't know, on the right side is like a mixture of like Star Wars or whatever. Oil barrels, there's a drill, there's a cannon in the middle, drawing tanks. I really like sci-fi movies, I guess, and this is how I relate all of these to lightness. But now we talk about heaviness. Now we talk about heaviness, and this is a desk. This is a desk with 4 legs, and on the middle of that desk is an SAT book, SAT test prep book, and on the left side is a pen. On the right side are 2 pencils. The top right corner of the desk is a pen holder cup. So prep, work, college, all this idea.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one, another one, and another one, and another one.
Another thing that I associate with heaviness is leaving my home or house, because I feel that I have to meet society's standards or expectations or social norms when I go outside. Obviously, those are important, but I'm just, a bit lazy sometimes. And speaking of society, I feel like the heaviest burden is society expectations, social norms, that kind of stuff. And I think the majority of these are caused by my tradition or Chinese tradition. That's Confucius on the bottom left, not Gandalf, not Gandalf. Confucius values of filial piety, of respecting your parents, respecting your elders. I think that all contributes to this idea of society. So, heaviness versus lightness. To answer Kundera's question, I choose lightness because we only have one life to live. My argument is that we only have one life to live, and heaviness is important. I understand that social expectations, social norms, we can follow them, but we should not let heaviness dominate our lives. We should let lightness take over our lives and become the most important part and the part that we enjoy the most. Lightness is associated with living in the present, and this is why I choose lightness. So, to answer the question, heaviness versus lightness, I choose lightness. Thank you.